The U.S. technology stocks were poised for an upbeat trading day on Thursday, led by Facebook shares after a forecast beating earnings report. We're looking at the numbers now. Futures for the Dow Jones added 0.21%, while those for the S&P 500 index gained 0.23%. Now, futures for the Nasdaq 100 index rose 0.61%, and that was lifted by a solid pre-market gain for Facebook. And the markets in Asia closed mixed on Thursday, following modest gains on Wall Street. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 added 0.47%, while the Topix gained 0.25%. The Kospi rose 1.1% to 2,475.64. China's mainland markets ended the session lower. The Shanghai Composite fell 1.35% at 3,075.85. And the Shenzhen Composite was off by 2.14% at 1,770.4. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index slid 1.29% in afternoon trade. Now, British industrialist Sanjeev Gupta is in talks to purchase the UK subsidiary of Nigeria's tier 2 lender Diamond Bank. Gupta, who's the executive chairman of Energy Group GFG Alliance, has been snapping up distressed industrial assets in Britain, Australia and the United States over the past few years. His purchase of Diamond Bank UK for an undisclosed sum is subject to UK regulatory approval, having already received approval by the Nigerian authorities. It will be renamed British Commonwealth Trade Bank on completion. Diamond Bank says exiting the UK subsidiary follows a divestment from West Africa's Diamond Bank SA completed in November 2017. And Deutsche Bank has announced plans to significantly reduce its workforce through the rest of 2018, particularly in its corporate and investment bank and infrastructure functions. This comes after the German lender posted a 79% fall in first quarter net profits of 120 million euros or $146 million. The investment bank also aims to scale back operations in bond sales and equities trading, particularly in the United States and Asia. The Frankfurt-based lender has been under scrutiny from shareholders for posting 3 consecutive years of losses, including a 497 million euro loss for 2017. Revenues for all businesses were lower year on year. The Deutsche Bank shares fell 3.5% this morning in Frankfurt trading, and that brings losses this year to 27%. The stock is one of the worst performers among European banks in 2018. And Royal Dutch Shell delivered more than $5 billion in free cash flow, sweetening its first quarter 2018 earnings, and that's the highest since 2013. Driven by higher oil prices, the oil giant says that higher oil prices and years of cost-cutting measures have boosted first quarter profits by 69% from a year earlier to $5.7 billion. Royal Dutch Shell stopped short of launching an anticipated $25 billion share buyback program, although on track to repurchase that much of stocks by the year 2020. On tap tomorrow, Friday, are earnings from other big oil firms like ExxonMobil and Chevron Group, with eyes on British Petroleum numbers on May the 1st. Away from company news now to Egypt, where for 7 years the Nile Delta village of Kafr Ziada has been banned from growing rice. But like most Egyptian farming communities, it has shrugged off restrictions aimed at conserving water each year and planted the cash crop. Farmers in the village say this is about to change, with Ethiopia signaling that it may start filling the reservoir of its towering $4 billion Grand Renaissance Dam this year.
Rice farmers in the Nile River Delta have ignored planting restrictions aimed at conserving water for years, continuing to grow a medium grain variety of the crop that is prized around the Arab world. A decision thousands of kilometers to the south is about to change that. Far upstream, close to one of the sources of the Nile, Ethiopia is preparing to fill the reservoir behind its new $4 billion dam this year. This could have devastating consequences for farmers who have depended on the Nile for millennia to irrigate strategic crops for Egypt's 96 million people expected to grow to 128 million by 2030. Authorities are finally tackling widespread illegal growing of the water-intensive rice crop, showing a sense of urgency that even climate change and rapid population growth has failed to foster.
Every year it becomes more strict. It is strictly forbidden to plant rice. Forbidden means forbidden.
Rice traders say the crackdown means Egypt will likely be a rice importer in 2019 after decades of being a major exporter.
Our village is large. It has 4,200 acres and a population of 700 to 800,000 people. It is a large village. 4,200 acres, and it is ready for rice planting. How can it be stopped from planting rice all those years? And if we plant, reports will be filed against us and we will be in jail.
50-year-old Reda Abdel Aziz says some of the people have become afraid to leave the village.
2 or 3 police cars used to come at night and arrest between 30 to 40 people. They knock on their doors and detain them. There is no water problem, as they say. They keep saying it uses up a lot of water, but every crop does.
Egypt is long considered the Nile its own, even though the river and its tributaries flow through 10 countries. But
well, still to come on Business Incorporated, our commodities market segment looks at the distillery business in Nigeria. Do stay with us.